The Tau, and in particular the Kroot, look to be getting a sizable update coming very soon, with a somewhat surprising but very welcome swathe of new and refreshed models, including the Kroot Hounds, the Warshapers, and even a brand new Krootox Rider, all heading our way fairly soon. But the latest reveal is one I am personally very much looking forward to, and it's something more of a lone wolf mercenary style Kroot, which is called the Kroot Lone-Spear. And as you can see, this is just a stunning new model. It lets you add what looks to be a fast moving, it's probably going to be a 12-inch move based on the fact they say it can keep up with Kroot Hounds, and terrifying looking beast to add to your forces. And it looks, based on the rules they've shown us, like it is going to be fairly spicy at taking out enemy elite troops, as well as those pesky characters which are hiding in squads. So the LoneSpear comes with an explosive javelin, which the article states is good for blowing up enemy armored troops, or even able to damage a tank if they are lucky. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this have maybe some kind of anti-vehicle rule, or perhaps just be strength 8 or strength 9 to help them pick apart those lighter vehicles, as well as blow up things like Marines and Terminators. But alternatively, and this is the option I think is probably going to be the better one, you can opt for the long gun, which brings more of a long-ranged sniper role to the unit. It's a very solid 36-inch range with heavy precision, and it's one shot at strength 6, -2 AP and 3 damage. Now it is only 3+ to hit, so you will want to be sitting still to get that +1 to hit, but being able to sit back at a good range and potentially plink off enemy characters with impunity while they can't shoot back is a very powerful ability, and you really can quite reliably take out things like enemy Astra Militarum platoon commanders to stop their unit buffs. You have got around a 70% chance to just outright kill a 3-wound model with no invulnerable, or even a 50-50 chance into something that does have an invulnerable, like a Commissar with a 5-up. So I mean, yes, it's not going to be taking out Primarchs or those really top-level multi-wound characters anytime soon, but over the course of a couple of turns, or if you potentially bring 2 of these along, you can take out enemy characters, you can thin them out of enemy squads, and you can really use these guys to remove quite a lot of the synergy and the buffs and everything that those sort of characters bring to a unit and to an army. On top of that, their own personal output, they also bring a relatively nice buff in advanced scouting, and this can massively boost the melee or the ranged, but Kroot tend to be mainly melee focused, but it can really boost the melee output of a lot of your Kroot units, and in particular something like a unit of Kroot Hounds will really like this. It means that when you make a ranged attack with your LoneSpear and you hit an enemy unit, then until the end of the turn, any Kroot model that targets that unit gets to reroll hit rolls against them. So you can fire off your long rifle and then charge in a big unit of Kroot Hounds and get 30 odd attacks into the enemy, and they will now be rerolling their hit rolls. Now, Kroot Hounds don't have an amazing melee profile. They are 3 attacks at strength 3, 0 AP and 1 damage at the moment, but the rerolls do make a difference, and into their intended target, which is weak, squishy things like guardsmen, it does actually make a fairly significant difference. Going into a unit of guardsmen with the rerolls compared to not having the rerolls, you end up killing 10.6 compared to just 8, so it does actually make the difference between nearly killing a whole squad and actually reliably wiping them out completely. So yeah, it can be a really welcome boost against those squishy, weaker armored targets, and also potentially if you have another LoneSpear that you are bringing, you can now be hitting on 2s with a reroll. So if you failed to wound the Commissar with your first LoneSpear, because you only need to hit to get this buff, you don't need to wound. So if you fail to wound, or you are going into a Marine character that has more than 3 wounds, that second set of shooting will now be much more reliable and could be all that you need to finish off a 4 or 5 wound enemy character, rather than just leaving them on 1 or 2 wounds. Overall, I think the model is fantastic. It fits in so nicely with what we've seen of the other revamped Kroot units, and so I think if you just want to add it, have a bit of a Kroot-themed force and paint it up, it's going to be so much fun to pick up. But I think the rules also seem to add some relatively useful ranged output to your Kroot forces, as well as bringing at least one valuable buff to the rest of the Kroot stuff in your army. So all in all, I am a big fan. I really like the whole range refresh of the Kroot. I think every single thing we've seen so far is brilliant. And I personally, I'm hoping they get a detachment that is Kroot themed, because I really want to see what potentially a full Kroot army might look like and how it will operate as we go into 10th edition. So that is just the latest reveal on the Kroot side of things. But as always, what do you think of the model, and also what do you think of the rules we have been shown? Is it going to be gracing your army with the rest of the Kroot stuff, or do you still think the Kroot things are going to be left by the wayside compared to the actual mainline tower units? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.